you don't see something like this in India as often, and so the reviews were very, very good, and that was very heartening. Let's say that.
Hi everyone, it's Sailesh Ram, AsianCultureVulture.com. It's London Film Festival and we're back doing the London Film Festival afternoon teas. Let's see the filmmakers who are there. Hi everyone, it's Sailesh Ram, AsianCultureVulture.com. We're at the London Film Festival and with the brilliant people behind the film Sister Midnight, Karan Kandhari, writer-director, and Radhika Apte, who plays the lead. Karan, tell us, I remember you telling me at the beginning, before the film festival started, in the preview interviews, that you were really struggling to find the lead character, Uma, and then you found Radhika. So explain that first meeting, and when you read the script, what was going on in your head?
I don't know if you know this. I nearly didn't. I was going to abandon the film if she was going to say no, because I couldn't find anyone. And we trolled through material of people in India. Not to say there isn't there's a wealth of talent, but this is so specific, and I was looking for something I couldn't even put my finger on, in terms of reading a person. And so we sent it to her, and we heard she was interested to meet, and we go to this meeting, and I'm just like, I'm quite nervous, because I'm like, if she says no, I'm going to have to abandon this film. And we go meet her for dinner, and she's just like, as she does, she's yakking away, lots of different things, jumping topics, and I'm like, okay, and then just like, takes a sip of a drink, she goes, yeah, I want to do it. I was like, oh, fuck. So...
Yeah, I forgot, I remember, I was like, oh yeah, of course, sorry.
That's why we're meeting.
Yeah.
So...
So you read the script before you met Karan?
Yeah. Actually, that's very funny because there was just one meeting.
It was just one meeting.
I think you said that, yes.
And I was...
And 5 years.
Yeah, I know. I read the script, and I remember I couldn't keep it down. Like it was, I don't know what word to use. It was crazy. The script was absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, but you connected with it. That's the important thing.
Immediately. Like I was like, this is. It was. I think for me. I mean, honestly, it's the best compliment I think for any film. I think a script where I think it's on that. It's a thin line. I feel like this could be really cool in the sense challenging and something very different. Or this could go very wrong if done badly. You know what I mean? It's that line,
and the pressure is on you because
but it's that risk. I'm saying that very few people take that risk to actually be so authentic and be like, this is what I'm doing. That it can actually, and I think that was what I was like. This is great,
right?
And and then it was that. I think the whole process. I think this is. I had to be. He took me out of my comfort zone completely.
What gave you the confidence to write something like that? Because for me, it's totally original in the Indian context. Now, I've seen some, Western European films that have a sort of, that sort of edge to it. But you're writing an Indian context in Mumbai. How did you put yourself and say, I'm just going to write it?
It's not as conscious as that.
Right.
And two things happened. The first inkling of the idea, as I was telling Radhika earlier, it's like, it came about 20 years ago when I was very young and I was in Bombay for the first time ever, and I was kind of mesmerized by this intoxicating city. And it wasn't like I was consciously saying, I'm going to deal with India. It's just, the artistic act, at least for me, is a mysterious, abstract thing. So... it just happened. But in terms of confidence of the idea, it was when we started working together. Because the whole film rests on her shoulders. And so once she started to bring her to life, there was kind of no turning back.
And how was it to bring her to life? What did you like about her that you connected with, both in the script and when you came to play her?
I think she's just herself, unapologetically. I think that's the strength, her strength. And she's a misfit in the world, and she's who she is. And owning that and being quite a badass about that was quite interesting to me. But also our process was very interesting. Normally, everything that I do, I work through emotion and thought. Even if it's spontaneous, it still comes from emotion and thought, and this was very embedded in body. So it's body reacts before the emotion is felt by the brain. Suppose.
So
I mean,
it's
I'm
quite a
trying
physical thing.
Yeah. So it was really like reworking on thinking, not think.
Was it pushing your boundaries as an actor?
Yeah, it was quite uncomfortable in the beginning.
I got the memo too late.
Yeah, it was quite uncomfortable. I was like, "Oh, what am I doing?" But I think it took about 2-3 days in the rehearsal space to.
And I remember that moment for you.
Yeah,
I remember that moment where you were like, you said you did some. She did a take of something because we were really lucky that it was like we had like 3-4 days just us.
Yeah.
In London. And there was this moment where she's like, I just don't know what I did. And I said, now you kind of got the character because I've never performed like this before. And what she's saying is right. It's about, because thinking to me is the enemy of art. And to get this character that is so spontaneous, as Radhika says, and impulsive, it's not from the thoughts, from intuition and the body. The emotions are there, but we were never chasing them. I don't think. Sorry.
And now you've had obviously some audiences have seen it, and the reaction. How do you feel about the reaction? Do they get it like I do? But I don't know.
I mean, I think we've been kind of really lucky. I've been traveling with it around the world at many film festivals, and the response is kind of wild in the cinema. But you know, it's not a normal film. No. It's very weird. Yeah. It's Marmite in a lot of ways, but I'm really quite moved how it's been received, and you know, we're releasing in the States and France and the UK, and so yeah. I mean, I always looked at the film and her character like a kind of jar of unstable plutonium that we're just gonna throw into into an unsuspecting audience. So you kind of never know what you're gonna get, but that's kind of the intention.
Radhika, do you find people connect with a woman? Do you think there's something about her that really, of course, intrinsically, I think for me, grounds the movie?
I haven't seen the film yet. I've seen a version, yeah. So I haven't seen the film in theatre though, with people to actually to feel what they feel and how they experience it. So I'm very excited for tonight because I was told not to watch it unless I watch it on a big screen.
No, I think it's got to be watched on the big screen.
Yeah.
And Karan, I've got to ask you about the music. I mean, I think that's another very original part of the movie. So describe how you putting that music in, because it's not Indian at all, and that's what I love about it.
Again, it's intuitive. Like music means more to me probably than film does in a lot of ways, and it's a constant companion when I'm writing or coming up with a story. And we don't ever use music to push emotion. It's something else, almost like a secondary narrative in the film. And there was a choice not to use any Indian music when I discovered all this Cambodian soul music from the 60s, which on first listen, it sounds like it could be Indian pop from the 60s, but it's something else, and there's like a bit of Phil Spector sort of stuff going on, and I like... So, okay, the best way I can answer while I waffle is the film is essentially a cultural collage. So you've got things that shouldn't go together, but to me, that's the exciting thing, and that's what works. Like you've got... She's running through an Indian lady running through a Bombay slum while Motorhead, a bunch of speed freaks from Birmingham, are blasting on the soundtrack, or like things like so. Juxtaposition and taking a risk on things that shouldn't go together kind of led to those choices. But in a sense, it was like if you go through my record collection, that's what you'll find.
Yeah. So. And did you have any idea about the music when you were?
Yes. Right from the beginning, like during rehearsals, we used a lot of music to just get the tone and the texture of the scene and the mood. So from right from the beginning.
And Karan, I mean, I'm hoping we'll see a lot more films like this set in India, in Mumbai, because as far as I know, there aren't very many Indian films, or any Indian films really, in this kind of very, I would say, slightly, kind of absurd, macabre, but totally works. Is that something you're excited by or interested in, or you've done that and now you're moving on? In a way, yes. Like, it's really the only story I have set in India. The others are set in various different parts of the world. Okay. But what I'm excited about is it playing in India, because even in Cannes, Radhika and me were quite surprised by the Indian responses we were getting.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's exciting to me. how it lands there. Maybe you can talk about when
No, I mean, I was actually very pleasantly. I mean, it's not a nice thing to say. I was surprised because I didn't sort of anticipate them completely going against it. But you don't see something like this in India as often, and so the reviews were very, very good, and that was very heartening. Let's say that. Yeah.
And Karan, what are you doing next? What's the next project?
I can't quite
You can't.
speak about it, but I've
Right.
got a couple of things.
Are you still promoting Sister Midnight then?
Yeah, I mean, I've been kind of on tour essentially at festivals and stuff, and I'm a little fatigued, so I owe my producer a draft of what I'm working on. But I've got a couple of things I'm messing around with. One
Great.
set in the 1800s in the American West.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, good luck with that. Radhika, you?
Oh, I have a few projects releasing next year. So yeah.
Excellent. All right then. Thank you so much
Thanks
for your
so much.
time. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Sorry.
Thank you.